Okay. Pre-flight checklist. Engine master switches off and off. Engine mode selector normal. Weather radar off. Predictive wind shear off. GCS set to auto. Landing gear lever down. Wipers 1 and 2 off. Battery 1 and 2 above 25.5 volts. Battery 1 on. Battery 2 on. External power available and on. Cockpit lights as required. Let's leave our repair to power up. Good afternoon, Lisa. Is the cabin ready for boarding?
Good afternoon, Captain Stelios. Yes, the cabin is ready for boarding. Cabin crew, please prepare for boarding.
You can start boarding now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning the boarding process for Flight 680 to our destination. Please have your boarding passes ready and proceed to the gate. Thank you for choosing to fly with us today.
Our flight today, Lisa, is flight 222.
Okay, Captain. Flight 222 is confirmed.
Thank you, Lisa. Okay, pre-flight checklist continue. APU fire test. Checked. ECAM recall normal. ECAM oxygen green. ECAM hydraulics checked. ECAM engine oil quantity checked. Spoilers disarmed and retracted. Flaps lever retracted, parking brake set, accumulator and brakes pressure checked. Let's prepare our CPU. Okay, cockpit preparation continue. Crew supply on. Ground control on. CDR test. Location curtains repair switch set to curtains. Radius 1 nav. 3 nav. And 2 nav. Strobe set to auto. Matter local lights on. Wing lights on. No smoking signs set to auto. Emergency exit lights are. Cabin pressure level elevation auto. Probably will hit auto. Air condition as required. Engine 1 fire test. Checked. Engine 2 fire test. Checked. ISIS panel, set grenades. Anti-skid on. CPU. Navigation database valid. Our flight is at GM222. Okay, let's tune to the 80s frequency.
Sky conditions, few cumulonimbus at 2,000 feet. Scattered at 3,000 feet. Temperature 26. Dew point 17. QNH 1016. Density altitude 1600 feet. Arriving and departing runways 3 right, 3 left. Transition level 9 or 5. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango. Athens Eleftherios Venizelos International Airport, information Tango. 1050 Zulu. Wind 055 at 19er. Visibility 6. Sky conditions, few cumulonimbus at 2000 feet. Scattered at 3000 feet. Temperature 26. Dew point 17. QNH 1016. Density altitude 16.
Athens clearance delivery, good afternoon, this is Aegean 222, ready to copy IFR to COS with information Tango.
I'll grab that clearance. Give me just a minute.
Take your time, madam.
Aegean Airlines 680 Venizelos clearance. Information Tango is current. Clear to HIPPO-CRATES via the KEA-1 Echo departure. Departure runway 3 right. Initial climb to 8,000 feet. Departure on 121. Decimal 4. Squawk 4525.
Clearance, for your information, it's Aegean 222, not Aegean 680. So Aegean 222 cleared to HIPPO-CRATES course via the Kilo Echo Alpha 1 Echo departure, departing runway 03 right, initial climb to 8,000 feet, departing frequency 121.4, squawk 4525, Aegean 222.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Aegean's Flight 222, departing from Athens to Kos.
Clearance on request, stand by.
Take your seats according to your boarding passes.
Cleared to Palermo via the 4-1 November departure that is filed. Departure runway 21 Lima, initial climb to 4,000 feet. Departure on 121.4, squawk 5346, Aero Italia 77, thank you.
Emily, Jake, and Sarah. Also, a quick note.
Clearance United 604, requesting IFR to Thera with information Oscar.
Flights of Expo in Providence. So,
I'll have your
feel free to
clearance in just a
contact us
second.
there. Thank you for choosing Aegeans, and we hope you have a pleasant
Okay,
flight.
we're planned for an RNAV runway 32 approach to HIPPO-CRATES via the Morix transition. Okay, decision altitude for RNP runway 32 in course is 623 feet. Okay, flight plan ready.
Venezuela's clearance Israel 564 at gate Bravo 6 with information Gulf, request clearance to Ben Gurion, Tel Aviv.
I'm working on that clearance. Stand by.
Venezuela's clearance Israel 564 at gate Bravo 7 with information Gulf, request clearance to Ben Gurion, Tel Aviv.
Clear to Thessaloniki via the car air 02 Echo departure, then as filed, runway 03 right, initial climb 8,000 feet, departure on 128.905 and squawk 2262, Gen 17 Lima.
Okay, cockpit preparation continue. Fuel pumps on. Seatbelt signs on. Radio control panel as required. Annunciator lights test. Doors locked. Cockpit door locked. Airfish control panel and MCP. Initial altitude 8,000 feet. Set. Oxygen mask test. Checked. APU master switch on and start.
Lufthansa 5 Hotel Papa. Contact tower on 118.625.
Tower on 118.625, Lufthansa 5 Hotel Papa.
Okay, APU available. Before start checklist. External power off. transponder code. It's 452 and set to auto.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Parking brake
welcome
set.
aboard Aegean's Flight 222, departing from Athens to Kos. We are thrilled to have you with us today.
Brian,
Your
we're
captain
ready
for
to
this
go.
flight is Captain Stelios, and our first officer is Brian. Joining me in the cabin are my wonderful colleagues, Emily, Jake, Sarah, and Mark. We expect a flight time of approximately 39 minutes. Now, for your safety, please pay attention to the following important information. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal fitting into the buckle until you hear a click. To release it, simply lift the buckle. We recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated, just in case we experience any unexpected turbulence. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the panel above you. To use the mask, pull it towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place it over your nose and mouth, securing it with the elastic band. Remember to put on your own mask before assisting others.
Okay, Eleftherios Venizelos ground, Aegean 222, requesting permission for push and start. Eleftherios Venizelos ground, do you copy?
Aegean 222, push and start approved. Face southeast.
Thank you, sir. Ground crew, this is the flight deck of Aegean 222 at parking Bravo 62, requesting pushback.
Ground to flight deck, tug on the way, stand by for pushback.
Standing by. Ground crew, we're ready for pushback.
Ground to flight deck, release parking brake. Tug standing by for pushback.
Parking brake release.
Ground to flight deck, cleared for engine start in sequence.
Starting engine number 1. Starting number 1. Number 1 available, starting engine 2.
Ground to flight deck. Pushback complete. Please ensure parking brakes are set. Standing by for confirmation of good engine start and report when ready for disconnect.
Parking brake set. Okay, both engines available. After start checklist. Engine mode selector, normal. ABU bleed. Off. ABU master switch. Off. Anti-ice not required. Spoilers. Armed. Flaps 1 set to take off. Rudder trim. Reset. Pitch trim. Set to take off after start checklist completed. Ground crew, both engines are available, so you can disconnect the tag now. Thanks for your services. Good day.
All right, we're disconnecting now. Stand by.
Taxi checklist, nose lights, set to taxi. Set. And with
Ground to flight deck.
lights.
Bypass pin removed. We've disconnected and crew is clear. You're good to go. Safe flight. See you soon.
Thank you, sir. Good day. Wing lights as required. Chrono set. Parking brake is still on. Eleftherios Venizelos ground, Aegean 222, ready for taxi IFR to runway 03 right.
Aegean 222, Venizelos ground. Taxi to runway 3 right via Kilo Orange. Kilo Charlie, Delta 2. Contact tower on 118.625 when ready for departure.
Taxi to 03 right via Kilo Orange, Kilo Charlie, Delta 2, tower on 118.625 on departure. Aegean 680, good day, sir. Thank you. Brian, can you please brief me for departure?
We'll be departing from runway 3 right, flying the KEA-1 Echo departure with an initial climb 8,000. Transition altitude is 9,000. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile, climbing to flight level 230. Weather at departure shows no significant issues. In case of engine failure below 400, continue straight and follow ATC. Above 400, follow the engine out SID procedure. For emergencies before V1, reject takeoff and brake. After V1, continue takeoff and handle the emergency. Cleared as filed, squawk 4,525, departure on. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, V2 is 152 knots, climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Stelios.
Let's have a smooth flight, Brian. Lisa, we will start taxiing down.
Sure thing, Stelios. We're all set for departure.
Parking brake released.
Okay, Captain. We will start the process now.
Aegean 854, pushback approved. Face southwest.
taxi runway 3 right via Echo Charlie, Delta 2. Contact tower when ready for departure at Aegean 854.
Aegean 222, contact tower on 118.625. Take care.
Tower on 118.625, Aegean 222. Brake set before takeoff checklist. Flight controls. Checked. Predictive wind shear on. Auto brake. Set to maximum. Takeoff configuration. Normal. Terminal ND on. Weather radar on. Transponder on. TCAS. TA array. Packs as required. Strobe lights on. Landing lights on. Nose lights set to takeoff. Before takeoff checklist completed. Eleftherios Venizelos Tower, Aegean 222, holding short of runway 03 right, ready for departure.
Aegean 222, Venizelos Tower, runway 03 right, wind 045 at 16. Clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Aegean 222. Let's go, Brian. It's quite windy today. Parking brake released. Brian, take over communications, please.
I'll handle the communications from here, Stelios.
Cabin crew, since for takeoff.
Okay, Captain. Cabin crew is seated for takeoff. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now preparing for takeoff. Please ensure your seatbelts are fastened. Your seatbacks
Aegean 730, contact departure on 121.4.
securely stowed. Thank you for your
Departure on 121.4, Aegean 730.
Olympic 62, contact departure on 121.4.
Departure 121.4, Bravo India Kilo.
Let's go. Engine stabilized. Thrust levers flex. Man flex 70 SRS runway auto thrust group. Check. Thrust set. Knots. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Autopilot 1 engaged.
Aegean 222, contact departure on 121.4.
Flaps retracted. Thrust levers
Departure on
glide.
121.4. Aegean 222.
After takeoff checklist, landing gear lever up. Autopilot 1 engaged, thrust levers glide.
Athens departure,
Punch.
Aegean 222. Good
On.
afternoon. We're climbing past
Anti-ice
2000.
not required.
Aegean 222, Athens departure identified. Climb 8,000.
Climbing to 8,000. Aegean 222.
Climb checklist, flaps above S, retracted, spoilers.
Allow
Visa.
541, contact Venizelos tower on 118.625.
No flights off.
Tower on 118.625 and I'll 541.
Transition altitude grenades.
Aegean 222, climb flight level 220.
Climbing flight level 220. Aegean 222.
220 set. Transition altitude QNH set starter. feet checklist, landing lights off, wing lights as required, seatbelt signs off, edge control panel as required, carrying on engine off, pickup status.
Aegean 222, climb flight level 230.
Normal,
Dear
set.
guests, we are now at a safe altitude.
Climbing to flight level 230, Aegean 222.
Flight level 220 is set.
They are in an airplane. Also, I'd like to inform you that our onboard Wi-Fi service is now available. Enjoy your flight with Aegean's flight 200.
Athens departure, Aegean 222 requesting direct course to Varix if available.
Aegean 222, direct to Varix, approved, proceed direct.
Direct to Varix set. I'll get a preliminary weather report for HIPPO-CRATES, Brian. Okay, we got a bit of a headwind.
Aegean 222, contact Athens on 125.2.
Switching to Athens on 125.2, Aegean 222.
Okay, I think we will go for a visual approach in course.
Good afternoon. We're climbing through flight level 180 up to flight level 230.
Aegean 222, Athens. Identified. Good afternoon.
That was my aunt. Cruise checklist, take us
Aegean 222, Athens. Expect the Copper 1 mic arrival. I'll call your descent in roughly 10 minutes.
Expecting the Copa 1 mic arrival. Awaiting descent instructions in approximately 10 minutes. Aegean 222.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached cruising altitude on Aegean
take us set below.
222, heading from Athens to Kos. We will begin our snack and drink
Come.
service shortly. Today we have some delightful options, including our delicious Mediterranean wraps and refreshing beverages. After the service, we will also be offering articles from the Aegean shop, so stay tuned for that. The weather in Kos is lovely, with a temperature of 29 degrees Celsius and clear skies.
Check.
Thank you for flying with us, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Descent preparation, weather checked. Cam status normal. Flight mode confirmed. Approach performance. Okay, we will use medium brake.
November 23, contact Athens on 129.325.
Performance approach calculated.
Decimal 625. November 23, bye-bye.
Swiss 923, contact Macedonia on 125.355.
Second of brake as required. Auto brake, set medium. we have some altitude constraints in Isiros and Kefalos. On our descent to land.
Aegean 222, cleared. Copa, 1 mic arrival into HIPPO-CRATES. When you're ready to begin your descent, descend flight level 140.
Cleared Copa 1, mic arrival into HIPPO-CRATES. Descend flight level 140 when ready. Aegean 222.
We begin our descent now, Brian. Flight level 140. Lisa, we begin our descent now.
Okay, Captain. We will prepare for descent. Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin our descent shortly. Please ensure your seatbelts are fastened and your seat backs are in the upright position. Thank you for your attention. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now left our cruising altitude and are starting our approach to coast. Please return to your seats, stow your tables, and fasten your seatbelts. For your safety, the use of lavatories is no longer allowed. Thank you for your cooperation as we prepare for landing.
Okay, we have a constraint for a minimum altitude of 3,500 feet before our final turning point to runway 32, Brian.
Aegean 222, descend altitude 5,000, QNH 1012.
Descend altitude 5,000, QNH 1012, Aegean 222.
5,000 feet set.
Aegean 222. Contact coast approach on 119.9er.5.
Switching to coast approach on 119.9er.5. Aegean 222. Coast approach, Aegean 222. Good afternoon. We're descending through flight level 150 down to flight level 050.
Aegean 222, coast approach, identified. Good afternoon. Expect the RNAV runway 32 approach into HIPPO-CRATES.
Expecting the RNAV runway 32 approach into HIPPO-CRATES. Aegean 222.
Brian, take over communications from now on, thank you.
Alright, Stelios, you're in charge of communications now.
Feet checklist. And lights on, seatbelt signs on, air control panel, seat wire, turn on engine on, progress GPS accuracy high. Transition level not reached yet.
Captain, cabin is ready.
Thank you, Lisa.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on our final approach into CUS. Please turn off all electronic devices and stow them until we have arrived at the gate. Ensure your tray tables are put away, your seats are in their full upright position, and your seatbelts are fastened. Our Aegean staff on the ground will provide you with information regarding your connecting flights. Thank you for your cooperation. You're welcome, Captain.
Eurowings 1 Hotel Uniform, contact HIPPO-CRATES Tower on 121.05.
121.05, Eurowings 1 Hotel Uniform.
QNH 1011. Space activated.
222, descend altitude 4,000 until established, cleared for the RNAV runway 32 approach.
Descend to 4,000 feet, clear for the RNAV runway 32 approach, GM222. Flaps 1. Flaps 2. Landing gear down. Ground spoilers add. Flaps 3. Lights on, lights set to take off. Flaps full.
A contact HIPPO-CRATES tower on 121.05.
Switching to 121.05, Aegean 222. HIPPO-CRATES tower, Aegean 222 on final approach course for now runway 32 approach.
Aegean 222 HIPPO-CRATES tower, continue approach for runway 32, winds 305 at 15, runway 32 cleared to land.
Clear to land runway 32, Aegean 222.
Please, 353 Calimera, ready to pick up IFR clearance to Zurich, information Papa.
Aegean 222 winds 305 at 15, runway 32 cleared to land.
Right, take over communications, please.
I'll handle the communications from here, Stelios.
Autopilot disengaged.
$2,500.
Ground, good afternoon. Sky Belgium 6 Eco November, gate 5, information Delta on board. Ready to copy AFR clearance to Brussels South Charleroi.
Cabin crews is for landing.
Working on that clearance, stand by.
Clear to Charleroi via left 1 Foxtrot departure, runway 14, then as filed. Initial climb altitude 4000, departure frequency 119.95. Squawk 1132, Sky Belgium 6 Eco November. Coast Tower, Sky Belgium 6 Eco November, gate 5 ready for push and engine start, please.
1000. Above. 500. Minimum.
Continue.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Idle. Reverse. Reverse green diesel. Reverse side. Ground spoilers disarmed. Flaps retracted.
GN222, welcome to HIPPO-CRATES. Taxi to stand 5 via Alpha 1, Alpha stay on this frequency.
Taxi to stand 5 via Alpha 1, Alpha, staying on this frequency. GN222.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to KOS. We hope you enjoyed your flight on Aegean's flight 222 from Athens.
After landing checklist.
Did you know that KOS is famous for its beautiful beaches and rich history? It's also the birthplace of Hippocrates,
landing lights,
father of medicine. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until we reach our final parking position. On behalf of Captain Stelios, First Officer Brian, and the entire crew, thank you for flying with us today.
Hello,
The
request
local time
EFR
at KOS
clearance
is
to
2:25
Thessaloniki.
p.m. We wish you a wonderful stay.
Correction, I request IFR clearance, please. Outside.
Flaps.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
Gas.
Clear to Macedonia via Copa 3 Alpha departure runway 32. Initial climb 4,000 feet and departure on 119.995. Scope 2244.
And start. Terrain on MD off. HIPPO-CRATES ground, Aegean 222, requesting progressive taxi instructions to parking.
Aegean 222, taxi to stand 5 via Alpha 1 Alpha. Have a great day. You will be guided by Hang the Hippo. All aircraft information. Whiskey is now current. QNH 1011.
Stand 5 via Alpha 1 Alpha. Aegean 222.
HIPPO-CRATES ground, is there a follow me car to guide us?
Aegean 222, taxi to stand 5 via Alpha 1 Alpha. Have a great day. You will be guided by Hank the Hippo. The truck should be there in a second to guide you.
Thank you, sir.
Stand 5 via Alpha 1 Alpha. Aegean 222.
Parking brake set. Parking checklist, chrono stop. Cam wheel temperature checked. Brake fan not required. Runway
Air 444 IFR to rotor with information Yankee, request for clearance.
I'll grab that clearance. Give me just a minute.
Off.
Atlas Air 444 request for shell start.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
Beacon lights off, seatbelt lights off, fuel pumps.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now parked at Kos Airport. On behalf of Captain Stelios, First Officer Brian, and the entire crew, we wish you a wonderful stay here in Kos. We hope you have a beautiful vacation and safe travels to your next destination. Thank you for flying with Aegean's Flight 222 today. Goodbye, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
On, ABU lead off, ABU master switch off. Lisa, we can start deboarding.
Dear passengers, we have now reached our final parking position. Captain Stelios and the cabin crew are now saying goodbye. We wish you a nice stay here in Kos, or safe ongoing travel.
Ocean 19er Alpha. Contact departure on 119er decimal 95.
119er decimal 5. 119er decimal 950, Ocean 19er Alpha.
Cross Tower, good afternoon. Starship November 8283 Sierra, the GA apron. Request IFR clearance to Mykonos, and we have information whiskey.
I am working on that clearance. Stand by.
Okay, everyone has deboarded. Lisa, secure the cabin please, and let's go. Securing the aircraft checklist, crew supply.
Okay, Captain, securing the cabin now.
Off. Adios 1 off. 2 off. 3 off. And local lights off. Wing lights off. Lights off. External power off. Battery 1 and 2 off. Brian, thanks for flying with me. It was a nice flight.
Thanks, Stelios. It was a pleasure flying with you.